we're going to expound upon a great secret that has been uncovered to some degree, but no one has showed it, just like me. So with that being said, I'm going to stop trying to rhyme because I'm not making a dime off of this. And I can't rhyme anyways. So look at that. We got Kazakhstan. We're going to go over the world's map. And I'm doing this live for two reasons. One, because I can't really fit it in all onto my memory card on my phone and all that stuff. So live is a way that I can do it a little bit longer than normal shows. But I just have to have everything lined up so I don't have to keep you waiting while I put things out there. So as we're looking at Kazakhstan, we're going to do a little history lesson of the world and showing it in some of the movies, as well as disclose a secret that no one has ever seen before, I believe, on the internet so far. But I have uncovered it about 15 years ago, and I've been waiting to show it, but hesitating throughout that time as well. But I feel actually ready to do it today because it seems like it's going to be okay. So with that being said, Kazakhstan, you got the Black Sea, the Caspian Sea used to be called the Khazar Sea. They know it even in this area by the Khazar Sea. Now, Khazaria used to be all up here, and this is the mountains, the Caucasus Mountains, and then there's the steppes over here. And basically, I was trying to look for on this map is in Kazakhstan somewhere. Okay, but you have to go in really close. And there's supposed to be an upside down pyramid. Pentagram. So an upside down star. And it seemed to me very peculiar because it was etched into the earth and it was very big. So it was like it was a ritualistic area. So when I saw that, and this is not the secret I have to disclose, but it is going to be part of it. And if you get into Kazakhstan, they have this city called Astana. Now you switch these letters around, Astana, and you get Satana. And we're going to go into that city in a little bit and why that's so important. I'm going to show you why. But can you see the Mongol horde has come through from here to here and down into Palestine. So I'm just going to give you a little excerpt and what has happened from the Khazarian region and how they come down into Palestine. Okay, now this is from the Bible as history. And a little bit about what's happened in that area. These were the Scythians, looting and burning. They forced their way from Mesopotamia through Palestine to the very frontiers of Egypt, through the maritime plain by the Mediterranean, stormed this unruly mob of Scythian horsemen. Okay, these Scythians, Scythia was all up here. So whether you change your name in the past, it's all the same. Fearful and frightening, rumors heralded their approach. The inhabitants of Judah must have seen them as they looked down from the mountains. The prophet Zephaniah foresaw with horror what would happen. For Gaza shall be forsaken, and Ashkelon a desolation, and they shall drive out Ashdod at the noonday, and Ascalon shall be rooted up. In the houses of Ascalon shall they lie down in the evening. They headed for Egypt, Herodotus related, and while they were in Palestinian Syria, Psammetichus, king of Egypt, went to meet them and persuaded them with gifts and pleas to go on no further. And while the Scythians, remember, those are the Khazarians, on their way back were in the Syrian city of Ascalon, a few of them remained. Remember, Syria was all of this area right here. All of this area. Were in the Syrian city of Ascalon. A few of them remained behind and plundered the temple of Aphrodite Urania. Those Scythians who had plundered the temple in Ascalon, together with their descendants, forever were smitten by the goddess with a woman's ailment. Within 10 years, the Asiatic horsemen had disappeared, again like an evil apparition. In Palestine, the name of a city kept the memory of the Scythians green. Beth Shan was renamed Scythopolis. So we can easily see here, or read there, that there is these horsemen that come from this area, which is olden time Scythians. Now, all of this area is Mongolia before. There's Mongolia. The Mongols and the Attila Huns, they all came in through here. And we're coming westwardly, and you can see how Genghis Khan went through the west to the west after he was driven with the Great Wall of China. Over here, the Great Wall of China, keeping everyone going that way, protecting the true Sumerians, which could have been, by Spaceman's point of view, the Japanese, the samurai, samurai. So now, having said that these Scythians, barbarians, Khazarians are the same people, let's look at a little bit of a movie. Okay, here's the steppes. Here's the Caucasus Mountains in this movie, relayed. And this is an awesome movie, 1982. It came out. Conan the Barbarian. This is for fair use reasons, for educational purposes only. I'm only showing this.
And the wind come from the sky. To the sky. But Crum is your god. Crum, when he lives in the earth. Once giants lived in the earth, Conan. And in the darkness of chaos, they fooled Crum. And they took from him the enigma of steel. Crum was angered, and he was shook. And fire and wind struck down these giants, and they threw their bodies into the waters. But in their rage, the gods forgot the secret of steel and left it on the battlefield.
Hear that? The secret of steel.
And we who found it are just men. Not gods, not giants. Just men. And the secret of steel has always carried with it a mystery. You must learn its riddle, Conan. You must learn its discipline. For no one in this world can you trust. Not men, not women, not beasts.
But your sword.
This you can trust.
So remember Conan, Cain. Here comes the serpent race. And this is why I'm telling you this is the Khazarian barbarians illustrated in this movie. To plunder and rape, ravage, and control. Okay, sorry, this is my part here. Where the Scythian horsemen, stormed this unruly mob of Scythian horsemen. Fearful and frightening, they came in to Judea and Gaza and Ashkelon and raided like barbarians they were. So they go and they take out Conan's family, his tribe. I want you to watch this movie if you can on your own, because you can see how this is how they dress. This is the exact way of the Khazarians. But what they do show you here is they all line up, they get off. They're holding their staffs up high, showing who's in control, just like the Romans did. They brought out a staff with the eagle on top. This guy has an X on his chest, showing you the two horns. This guy's crown is showing you that scepter that controls plasma, really. So he's going to introduce his main guy. And I wish I can show you with the volume, because I think I'll get dinged more if I do. But you got Earl Jones here. He's the main snakehead. But these guys are showing you the Merovingian aspect of the red hair, the Merovingian kings. That's where the Satan's bloodline is supposed to reign from. And I believe it does come from CAIN or Khazaria. Khazarian, Aryan, the Aryan race that they tried to get to be promoted in the Second World War was really about the Khazarian Ashkelon Nazis that came in and marauded them. And look how he can hypnotize her. She puts down her arms. And he even turns away. A little bit of drama with the sound and the time. So, this is how a ruler is made. You give him, okay, being Conan, parents dying, and that's how these guys, these bastard children, are actually made to be leaders of the occult and the world, basically, for the world stage, for the Illuminaughties. They like causing chaos and suffering for the one they're going to control. So then he can be easily compartmentalized in his mind. So there's the double snakehead, showing you how these guys are horsemen.
And the blood became as snow. Who knows what they came for?
See the children's slavery?
Steal or murder. Was never known, for the leader rode to the south, while children went north with the bannier.
So they're showing you how they take children as slaves. They're showing you how they come in and take over the different tribes. So I recommend you watch this movie. It shows such a great understanding of the Khazarian barbarians. And this is really Satan taking on Satan in this, because Conan is basically showing that he's Canaan or Cain, basically fighting Satan. But he does take off the head of the snake, this huge, giant snake in this movie, which is awesome. So now, having said that, that lays the groundwork for this next part. And at the end of my little episode here that I'm disclosing, I'm going to get into a very great secret never disclosed by anyone, anywhere I've seen on the internet. So let's take a look at the beginning of this for some bullish crypto predictive programming. So I'm going to leave out the music. But we got floating rocks like we're supposed to be in on Earth, a floating rock through space. But these guys flying with their whatever type of birds. But just look at the colors. Look at the colors. I want you to focus on the colors and how I say the twin flames of XRP, XPR. And you can say that this can be the proton bird and that can be the ripple bird, since the guy on top of him is blue, but the other blue guy is on a purple blue bird. But the purple blue bird can be the twin flame of XRP, XPR, hidden in plain sight right before your eyes. And in this movie, it's the exact opposite of Conan Barbarian, where their love for the steel, which was CAIN's true two-ball CAIN, two balls and a cane, which is 007, where they got 007, two-ball CAIN, came out with how to make swords and metallurgy so he can fight on horseback. And that's what you see the Khazarians as horseback marauders. So right here, they land. You see the metallic colors. You see the metallic colors, purple and blue, purple and blue. There's two of them. So, of course, you're getting into double, which is the twin flames. They're going to talk a little bit of regular talk. But then watch this part. You cannot but see it. It's hidden in plain sight. You see purple and blue. It's all you see is purple and blue. And you'll see the cords of purple and blue spinning and twisting together. And it's about water, liquidity, money, liquidity. See that? Spiraling together like plasma, like your DNA, twin flames. The Ida and Pingala around the Sushumna, around the spine of the Kundalini. So now, after they're talking in this part, you see this, where she's playing with these beads or these gems. Look at the colors. Now remember, we're talking about metal blockchain having 5 products, and those are the 5 products right there. She's demonstrating. And what's around her head? So there's the dome over covering the earth, even though they just show it as that now. What are you going to see on her head? See this netting? It's like a web. It's the World Wide Web. It's going to be is the Internet of Value now, using metal. 5 products, 5 gems. So with that being said, we're going to get out of this Avatar movie where the guys are blue, just like the blue bloods they're trying to portray. And we're going to get into another blue blood. But what's going on in Kazakhstan? Okay. And back to the world stage. So I'm going to go over a few things with Kazakhstan and how it's related to the Illuminaughties, as well as a secret insight to another crypto insight to the Illuminaughties. So what do we have here? An obelisk. Where do you think that obelisk is? That's in Kazakhstan. Now, who wanted to actually build that obelisk and give money for that? Well, did Trump invest any money in the Palace of Peace? Okay, I think this one's it. Well, doesn't, okay, this is not the point that I'm trying to point out, but this is another pyramid. This is called the Palace of Peace. I was trying to get to a bit later. It's hard to figure out my heads there, what they say. Okay, here it is. While the Trump Organization held an unsuccessful bid in 2012 to construct a separate Trump diamond obelisk-shaped tower in Astana, okay, why does he want to build it in Astana? This proposal was rejected by the government in favor of the Abu Dhabi Plaza. The Abu Dhabi Plaza is in Kazakhstan, in Astana. Okay, so instead of having Trump diamond obelisk, they said, nay, we're going to build this. But I just showed you. What's this obelisk doing? So this is an obelisk. And what is that that's right here? Okay, this is an obelisk with an egg in it. And that egg is, the answer is disclosed. Actually, I wanted to show you right here, right in this scene. This scene in the avatar is showing you the obelisk. Look at that. See the obelisk right there? And look at the egg. The egg is the sun. Look at that. That's a secret right there. The egg for Ishtar, Easter, coming up this year, Easter special, Spaceman 2.0 episode. Liquidity, water, see that? So, the obelisk, and she puts that up to her heart to pray, praying to Ishtardi, or the sun god, sun worshippers. See how this all goes together? Movies from 1982 to movies to 2026, 2025. And then you see this obelisk. You see that? That's the egg. That's really representing the sun. They're sun worshippers. Remember, they build all their palaces and stuff in the direction of the sun. The Palace of Peace, a reconciliation, is a 62-meter high pyramid located in Astana, Kazakhstan, designed by Norman Foster and completed in 2006. It serves as a non-denominational national spiritual center. Non-denominational. Does this sound like they're trying to get you to that New World Order, like the Baha'i faith is trying to put out? Remember I showed you this? Baha'i teachings for the New World Order. Basically, they believe in the faith and they're open to all faiths. Same like Prince Charles says, I'll be keeper of the faiths, not the keeper of the faith. So this Peace Palace, a non-Renaissance international courthouse located in The Hague. Okay, that's another one. And they also have another one that they made in Washington, D.C. So they're trying to make it look like this is just something out there. And look, it has 1,500 seat opera house. But what's very interesting is in this top part of this pyramid, right up here, is how many seats? How many seats does it have? Let's just zoom in. The Palace of Peace and Reconciliation in Astana, Kazakhstan, features a circular chamber at its apex, specifically designed to seat 200 delegates from the world's main religions and faiths. Do you see what's happening here? Where the New World Order seat, capital city will be Astana, Kazakhstan. Oh, it has nothing around there right now, and Borat makes it look like it's just a third world country. lets me show you a third world country. Palace of Peace, Reconciliation. So right here, you have these 3 parks. This is the presidential right here. I think this is the obelisk. Oh yeah, and over here is your Abu Dhabi Plaza, I believe. It's about 1,000 feet high. Doesn't come close, not even with 100 of the highest. But what's this? You see these 2 gold buildings right here? Plated with solid gold. See that? This obelisk is situated between these 2 buildings plated with solid gold. Doesn't that look like the Tartarian buildings that they created in the past? I was trying to come up with a system yesterday with those buildings. Let me just cover it up a little bit of some of my chicken scratches. But it's basically a storage resonator frequency, and then on the top is mercury and copper. So, and I believe this is how alchemy is done with the energies in the air, and you can have free energy traveling around in the city, actually. But they're not going to tell you that this is just all for show. No, this is scientific technology that we're not privy to understanding. So, with that being said, why would they want to put Kazakhstan, Astana, which seems to be in the middle of nowhere, and have that as the New World Order capital of the world? Well, let's just take a closer look. Kazakhstan is one of 19 founding member states of the Board of Peace, a U.S.-led international organization initiated by President Donald Trump and formally established in January 2026 at the World Economic Forum in Davos. President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev signed the charter on behalf of Kazakhstan, confirming the country's commitment to initiative goals of stability and conflict resolution, initially focused on Gaza, but expanded to broader international conflicts. So, the Board of Peace was endorsed by the UN Security Council, so we can see. Okay, now remember I said there's 200 seats up there, okay? 200 seats. So, when you ask, there's the Abu Dhabi Plaza that was made instead of Trump's obelisk, diamond obelisk. But look at this, Palace of Peace cost 58 million USD. You know, that's a hidden 13 right there. And it was designed by the British firm Foster and Partners. So if it's not connected with the Brits, we know they're in control of everything through the Tavistock Institute. So just bear with me here. I'm trying to pull up that part I was looking for. So again, Kazakhstan membership terms. Kazakhstan joined as a founding member with a standard 3-year term, making no financial contribution. The charter allows for a voluntary $1 billion payment within the first year to secure permanent or extended membership, which Kazakhstan did not make. So even though they didn't make it, look at all that infrastructure they put in place for that Palace of Peace. Okay, and it has 200 chairs up at the top. Now, why would they pick Kazakhstan? Oh yeah, here it is. Why would they pick 200 seats there? According to the Book of Enoch, 200 watchers descended from heaven to Mount Hermon during the days of Jared. These angels, led by Samjaza, also spelled Shemhaza, and Azaziel, swore an oath together to take human wives and teach forbidden knowledge, which ultimately led to the birth of Nephilim and the great flood. So we know the Anunnaki came down to earth and made it with the daughters of men, and made the men of renown, the men of old, known as the Olympians. So there you have it. Why the Palace of Peace is designed to seat 200 delegates. It's because they're trying to call down, just like in Conan the Barbarian, they talked about the gods and the giants that came to the earth before. So it doesn't even compare with the Caliph, which is like over 2,000. $700 feet tall. Kuala Lumpur, then Chiang Mai, then in Mecca. But you can keep going down here. And you got pretty tall buildings even in Wuhan, China as well. So you can see they're not even coming close. We're getting down to 1,100, but it stops at 1,148. And the Abu Dhabi Plaza is about, it's 1,020 feet. So it didn't make the list of even the top 100 tallest buildings. But it was chosen over Donald Trump's obelisk. But he was going for an obelisk in Kazakhstan. So that has to be hit home for you to understand. Why would he want to put an obelisk for him in the middle of Kazakhstan, which is around here? What does that have to do with anything? Now you have China over here, you have Russia over here, basically, or all here, and you have the United States over there. So who has the most nuclear arms besides Israel? I think Israel has a lot of nuclear arms, but they don't want to disclose that. They pretend like they don't have any, and Iran, they're afraid of Iran having a few. We're about to make nuclear power for nuclear power plants, but no, they can't have free power or nuclear power and all that stuff. So we're all fighting for this nuclear war. Well, who has the most warheads on the planet? The most nuclear warheads? So Russia and the United States possess an overwhelming majority of the world's nuclear arsenal, approximately 88%. So they say. They're not going to disclose everyone's arsenal. But China and France, United Kingdom, India, Pakistan, Israel only has 90 warheads, unconfirmed status. Right, North Korea has 50. So what does Kazakhstan have? Kazakhstan currently not possess no nuclear warheads. Right, they don't possess none, but they have approximately 1,400 left over from the Soviet era, leaving them as probably the fourth largest, according to some sources, the fourth largest source of nuclear warheads on the planet after US, Russia, and China, I believe, if I have my stats correct. So don't quote me on that. But it is coming into understanding that a place we thought never would have anything has developed into a powerhouse. Kazakhstan. sitting between China, basically, and Europe, in the Middle East. So hopefully you can see this. This is where Khazaria was. The Russian king overthrew him 1,000 years ago. That's why they're going back into Ukraine and trying to kill them as revenge on the Rus. But this was all Khazaria, Scythians, Mongols, Genghis Khan, Attila the Hun, the hordes going east and then having to travel back west and different areas coming. The Black Plague spread through the Black Sea, through Kiev and these ports all up into different areas. So how did the Black Plague spread so well? By merchant ships that came all through here. And if you want to zoom in on that area, you'll see that the Volga River right here is where the Khazarians always had their shipping routes. Yeah, the Don and the Volga. Where's the Volga? Sorry to take your time, but I will get to that quite soon now. The secret of all secrets of the Illuminati disclosed on the internet, never before seen. So if you're excited about that, I hope you are. There's no one watching right now, but that's okay. Seems like there's no one watching, but I know someone will watch this afterwards, so that's good for me. I didn't do it for nothing. Even if just one watches this and gets an understanding of this truth, then there one be carrying on the truth, and you can't dissolve our light if you can't take it away from every single one of us. So, the Board of Peace, the Trump Diamond Obelisk, rejected, but they still made an obelisk. You got the Peace of Reconciliation. Okay, so let's go into North Korea just fast. I'd like to show you something. We'll go into a city in North Korea. Okay, we're going to zoom in here. I'm only going to go for another 10 minutes, I guess. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Let's zoom in. Starting to get clear. What do you see that's peculiar? From here, you can't see it too well. There you can see it. You see that? You see that? You see that? All these blue top buildings. What are these blue top buildings in North Korea? Okay, now I zoom out. And that's a major city, Pyongyang, in North Korea. So I'm going to go into another city. Whatever is close to Pyongyang, but something major. Oh, let's try this one, since there's an airport there. I don't know what these circles are that they show around it, but let's just zoom in and take a second look. Okay, I see a little bit of a blue one there. See a blue one there. See another blue one. There's another blue. What is it with these blue roofs? So now, having said that, someone brought that up to my attention since it was in North Korea. Let's go back to Kazakhstan. So this is the Abu Dhabi Plaza in Kazakhstan. Do you see the blue roofs? you see the blue? See the blue? Okay, so I'll go over here and zoom in. So, Astana, Satana, Ashtarti, Ishtarti, the goddess. I went into this Semiramis in yesterday's late night show. Look at these blue roofs. What are they for? What are the blue roofs for? I don't know what that means. If anyone can put a comment down below. So, Astana, in the middle of Kazakhstan. I'm going to try to zoom in on those areas. Here it is. Presidential Palace right here. And we got the obelisk right there. I'll just type into here, Abu Dhabi Plaza. And there it is right there. So we're going for a little tour through Astana. See this grid work here? Looks like a spider web. So I think they have more more understanding of the architecture and the landscaping to show you what's really happening as well, surrounding it with the city as well. Then you have these gardens. More construction going on over there. But look at these circular gardens. So, pretty interesting architecture, but it seems a little bit occultish to me. If you haven't seen the headquarters for the Jehovah's Witnesses, I suggest you take, I'll show you that actually as part of this episode, because it has to do exactly with, perfectly goes with the Atani Muli, or the, sorry, I gave it away, the Illuminaughties. I gave it away without giving it away. So that's the obelisk. And these two golden towers, I believe, are right here and right here. And then you got the presidential and the river behind them. So it's even like in London with the River Thames behind Buckingham Palace and all that. So it's quite an interesting city laid out in an occult fashion. I told you, in somewhere in Kazakhstan's upside down pentagram etched in the earth in huge lines as big as this huge city here, basically etched like right here, like let's say an upside down pentagram etched in roads. So something nefarious is happening in the middle of that pentagram. So I'll just look up for you the headquarters of Jehovah's Witnesses. Oh, that's not the one. It's actually in Belgium, I believe. If I can spell. Okay, just give me a second here. Right, there you go. World Headquarters of Jehovah's Witness in Brussels. It's not showing it without the, instead of on the Google Maps. So we'll go to the Google Maps. And we'll type it in here. Okay. And we'll just zoom in. Give me a second to try to zoom into this. Well, isn't that interesting? It kind of seems to not be there right now, or I can't find it particularly because it is a pyramid, just like the one on the back of the dollar bill. So with that being said, let's uncover the most secret of all secrets. Hopefully you don't skip forward to the end and not pay attention to all this, how Kazakhstan could have the fourth highest nuclear arsenal after they wipe out United States, Russia, and China's arsenal through World War III. Then you got Kazakhstan taking up the as the Board of Peace in the Palace of Peace, which is a pyramid structure situated in Kazakhstan, in Astana. And it's meant for world leaders to get together. And Trump wanted to put that as his own there. So that has something to say. So with that being said, let's get into what makes the Illuminati word so special and connected with the government. So I'm just going to go into Brave search engine because I'm brave now to do this. And we all know that they do mirror imaging in their ways. So when they mirror image things, they write it forwards and backwards, like red rum is murder backwards. So with that being said, let's write Illuminati backwards. How do you spell Atanimuli Illuminati? So I don't recommend you everyone do this, but if you don't believe that the Illuminati is connected with world governments and government agencies around the world, especially through the United States, all you got to do is type in atanimulibackwards.com. And what do you get? What do you get? The National Security Agency Central Security Service website, nsa.gov. Do you see that? Who's ever showed you this? Who has ever showed you this? And for my crypto enthusiasts out there, scrolling down on their first page, National Cryptologic Museum. And if you think that's not super cool, then I don't know what is for you to know. Cybersecurity, our mission is cybersecurity, signals intelligence, aligning for success. Leads the U.S. government in cryptology that encompasses both foreign signal intelligent SIGNET insights and cybersecurity products and services, enables computer network operations to gain a decisive advantage for nation and our allies. Throughout the sites, NSA, CSS will be referred to collectively as NSA. NSA is part of the U.S. Department of War, serving as a combat support agency, supporting our military service members around the world. So, is this not bullish or what, people? Is this not bullish or what? Well, I don't know if it's bullish, but it definitely has to do with cryptography, crypto, and the NSA. How else can I say this has to do with crypto? Well, we'll just type in I always write fast, I write wrong, but it's okay. David Schwartz worked as a contractor for the National Security Agency during the 1990s, where he developed encrypted cloud storage and enterprise messaging systems. Oh boy. This experience is building secure communication systems informed his later work as the chief technology officer and chief cryptographer at Ripple, where he helped create the XRP ledger. So, with that being said, if you want to get into some more history, you see a career at the NSA like David Schwartz had a bit of, you can investigate some more. But why would they have a backdoor into NSA.gov by using atanimuli.com. atanimuli.com. I remember that for 15 years since I was in college learning massage therapy and everything about the body. 206 bones. 26 is an 8, and 8 is infinity. You are an infinite being. You're made in the image of God. And may you seek the truth, and the truth will make you free. So, with that being said, this is Spaceman 2.0. I hope you like this live show. Even if you couldn't be in here live with me, it's still okay, because I know you'll figure this out and see it another day. I'm just blown away by Kazakhstan being the New World Order headquarters in Astana, and no one knew it until now. But I'll give credit in my post for a video that came across my way today that led me to understanding even more understanding of Kazakhstan being that, because I was trying to look for the upside down pentagram a few days ago there, knowing it was a seat of satanic intelligence for the planet. CAIN's bloodline, Khazarian bloodline, Khazarian Aryan bloodline. So with that being said, may you investigate more into life, what's happening around the world, what's going on in the different areas around the world. But before you leave, I will say, when you pull the map down from the top, you see the top, you see how big Greenland is, but you don't see any white part at the top. And it's supposed to come together. It's supposed to be the North Pole somewhere and some sort of stuff. But if you scan down, why is it that if you pull this up, you get all of this as Antarctica? And you can keep pulling it across and across. So they're actually showing you, hidden in plain sight, the truth that this is a wall that goes around us. And the North Pole is the center of the circle. And Greenland is a lot smaller than this, supposedly. And Australia is a lot bigger than that. So with that being said, keep your eyes on what's happening in Satania. I mean, Astana. Kazakhstan. Spaceman 2.0. Have a great night. Thanks for tuning in. And if you found this interesting, leave a message, leave a comment. Give me some feelings of that I'm doing something good to help you understand the truth, because the truth will make you free. Spaceman 2.0, and I'm out.